Hey everybody, Justin Monk here. Back with another deck profile. Today we have a deck profile on Zombie World. I'm playing the pretty generic Zombie World stuff. Now you can play it with like the punk stuff. However, I'm a purist apparently. I've been playing zombies for a really long time, ever since the Reloaded structure that came out. It's a lot of fun. They just got a couple of new cards in SUDA, which is currently the newest set. And they're pretty interesting, and you play a couple of them. Anyway, getting into the deck profile, of course, on the two copies of Doom King Balderach. This is a crazy ass boss monster. It's pretty much if there's a field spell on either player's field, doesn't have to be Zombie World. During the standby phase, he can special summon himself on defense. Also, once per chain, if a zombie monster activates an effect, you can either banish a card from the field or grave that's a zombie type, or you can also negate it if it was a zombie type. However, this combo is really great with Zombie World, obviously changing everything into a zombie, so if a zombie monster activates an effect, obviously you can chain to your own stuff, but also Zombie World just lets you chain to your opponent's shit, which is crazy. You can use both of those secondary effects per turn, but you can't do them both during the exact same chain. Really strong guy, recursion, great level, everything about him. Next up, we play two copies of Jack O'Bolan. This is just like another high level guy, pitches a card from hand. He's not terrible. He's fine, which is why he's at 2. Next up is a card that was playing at 1 for a while, just because it was a little bit of a brick. However, but with a new card just released, this card is actually very good. This is Changshi the Spirado. This is a level 6 that reads during your main phase. You can send one zombie monster from your deck or hand to the graveyard. If this card is banished, you can banish one zombie from your grave, special this card, but place it at the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. You can use each effect once per turn. So this effect is pretty damn good, obviously, just foolishing. And recursion, of course. But it was really hard to get out just because we had to pitch it pretty much off something, then summon it with like a Mizuki was the most optimal way. However, we do have a card which we'll get into a little bit later on, which lets us just summon this from our hand. Makes the high level guys a little bit more viable, just because you can cheat them out, which is really cool. Getting into the smaller guys, of course, we have Unizombie. This is our bread and butter of the deck. This is a very powerful card, crazy card. We're also on 2 copies of Gozuki, because this deck really loves the graveyard and wants to get as much shit as possible into the graveyard. We pretty much just play 2 Gozukis. It's pretty much just a very watered down Unizombie. However, he does have a secondary effect as well, which does come in handy sometimes to get stuff like your Chang-Chis out in the field from your hand. Next up, we're playing 3 copies of a new card. This is Volcarion the Riding Phoenix. This is a level 4 Dark Zombie Tuner. If you control a zombie monster, you can special summon this card from your hand during your main phase. You can bounce this card from your field to your hand, then special summon one zombie from your hand. You can use each effect per turn. This is one of the new cards that came out in SUDA, and it's a damn good card. Obviously, just a free special summon. He's also a tuner for a bunch of stuff. Also, being able to summon stuff like your Chang-Chis from your hand that normally you didn't really want in your hand. This guy can pretty much just do that. He's a great card all around, having a ton of fun playing with him. Next up, we're on 2 copies of Banshee. You can pitch her from field or grave to search to directly activate from your deck the Zombie World. Also, if she's on the field, Zombie World can't be targeted by card effects, which is really cool. She also has a decent amount of attack, just 18, so you can just sit on her sometimes, just to protect Zombie World. 2 copies of Bloom. This guy pretty much when he's sent to grave, he can banish himself. In order to special summon one of your high levels if you have Zombie World out in the field. Otherwise, add it to your hand. We're also on 2 copies of Mizuki. Mizuki is a little bit of a bricky card sometimes. But I think 2 is fine. I think 3 is a little bit too much just because how bricky it can be. 1 copy of Mad Mauler. This guy is treated as Plague Spurter Zombie. If he's in the grave and you control a zombie monster, you can special summon, decrease the level by 2 of that monster, and then you can like do a synchro summon for like the same level, which is cool. So if you have Doom King out, you can summon this guy, make Doom King a level 6. He's 2, so you can do like a synchro for 8, which is neat. It comes up occasionally. However, you are locking the zombies along with Glow Bloom. They both lock into zombies. Hand traps, we're on Ash, and then the 3 Mortar. These cards are both really good, obviously, just for generic hand traps. Also, they're zombie tuners as well. Moving into the spells, course, one of the 3 copies of Zombie World. This card is absolutely nuts. Obviously, turns all the monsters on the field and graveyard into zombies. Also, it has a secondary effect that I think came up exactly like once or twice applying this deck, where it's neither player contributes summon except for zombies. So they have to be zombie in the hand as well. Pretty cool card, shuts down a lot of different decks. It's pretty much just a floodgate. Next up, we're playing 3 of a new card. This is Curse of the Ancient Turtle. This is from SUDA. It's a normal spell that reads banish 1 zombie monster from your hand or grave, send 1 zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. When your zombie monsters were at battle, you can banish this card from your grave, special summon 1 zombie with 2k or less defense from your deck. You lose each effect once per turn. So not only does this summon guys from your hand, it also can banish your Chang-Chis. So your Chang-Chis can also get recursion, which is really fucking cool. This card's crazy, just adds way more consistency to the deck. Makes your big guys like Chang-Chi way more viable. Obviously, 3 Super Poly, turns everything to a zombie, so that's cool. Terra, Foolish, Call By, Rivalry. Rivalry is really cool because if you have Zombie World out and you flip up Rivalry, your opponents, whatever they summoned first, for example, if they summon the Dragon guy from their hand, you flip Gozen, or Rivalry, while you have Zombie World out, it turns it into a zombie, and then they're locked into only summoning zombies from hand, but because Zombie World doesn't affect the hand, if they have a handful of like dragons, for example, they can't summon them. They are only locked into zombies, which is really cool. It's a really like hard to do thing just because it's at 1, but it is a very killer combo. Extra deck, of course, we're on the Draco Nethersoul Dragon. Just takes 2 zombie monsters. Pretty decent effect and everything. Can like summon a token for like extra OTKing. We're on Mud Dragon Garura. Sometimes you just brick and you don't really get to use Zombie World, so like these 2 come in handy sometimes. Synchros, we're on Doom Kaiser Dragon, the Immortal Dragon, Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon, Skeletal Dragon Felgrand, and the Red Eye Zombie Dragon Lord. This is pretty much my synchro lineup. You could play different stuff if you wanted. I was playing a couple of the Shiranui cards. There's like 1 or 2 that are pretty decent. And there's also like there's a couple like non-zombie cards, but because we get locked into zombies fairly early on, I kind of wanted to like stick to zombie cards. 1 copy of Zombie Vampire, pretty neat. Sends shit from your grave and all that. It's pretty decent. Links 1 Anima. This is specifically for Bloom. Very rarely you'll get like really dookie hands where all you can do is normal Bloom, and then use it to link into Anima, and then just like summon Doom King. We're on 1 copy of Dark, the 1 Sucker. This thing is crazy. Flying Mary. Avenged, we really don't go into anymore. He's just kind of here. He comes up very occasionally. And the 1 Yuki Onna, the Ice, the Absolute Zero Mayakashi. This thing is pretty much like, it's fine. I think there's like a Link 3, which is like the same thing, except a little bit different. I like the Link 4, though. But yeah, that's the deck profile. Let me know what you guys thought about it. The new support is really cool. I'm a big fan of it all. I would love to see what you guys would come up with in the tank. Anyway, thanks for watching. Eat.